Gonna let my dog in.
I know there's a few more coming, but they can catch up.
Okay. Okay, so thank you all for attending tonight's meeting. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. We're grateful for you for coordinating our walks in each of our locations and hope that tonight provides you with the tools you need for a successful fundraising event. We want to help you with and your teams do this by providing the information and resources that you need. So please feel free to ask any questions you may have, but we'd ask you to wait until the end just in case we do cover it during this time. So we're going to introduce ourselves. My name is Sandra. I'm at the Associate Event and Fund Development in British Columbia and Yukon. And Christy?
Yep, Christy. I'm the Regional Executive Director for Western Canada.
And I'm Jeanette Demers-Weir. I'm the Regional Manager for Alberta.
And I'm Janice Daniels, and I cover the prairies.
So on tonight's agenda, we're going to briefly overview the in-person walks, the roles of the volunteers and the staff, the COVID and infection control policy, sponsorship, food donations, SharePoint resources, and fundraising. So firstly, as you all know, the website is up. It's walk.cysticfibrosis.ca. If you haven't registered yourself, we encourage you to do so. It can, as well as registering and helping to raise funds, it also helps you with troubleshooting if someone contacts you and says, I can't figure out how to make a donation, and if you don't know the answer, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. So the walks are being held across Canada, both in person and virtually. So if the city's not listed, we ask people to register virtually. And we're encouraging people to sign up and create teams or sign up as individuals and fundraise between now and the 29th.
Perfect. Thank you, Sandra. First, I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight on the call, and thank you for stepping up to help to coordinate the walks. Definitely, it takes all hands on deck to make this happen. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about the COVID safety and CF Canada policies. I know this is something that everyone's been asking. So I do have an answer about the COVID safety, and at this time, CF Canada will not be asking for proof of vaccinations for the event. So that is something that you can take back to your committees and team and donors that are looking to fundraise, that they have that information in front of them. In regards to infection control, we do ask that you have available at your walks a table, something off to the side that has available for hand sanitizers and masks available to participants who choose to want to wear them, may have forgotten them, or they broke. We will have bandanas available like we have at past walks. Those are to be available for those who wish to self-identify as a person living with cystic fibrosis. In the past, there have been bandanas out there. We do ask that if walkers do have them, that they could bring them to reuse them. We also are asking that these bandanas only are worn by a person with cystic fibrosis and not put on an animal, i.e. a dog, because they think it's cute. We actually need to make sure that they are only for the actual individuals. There also is a great resource that you can find on the Cystic Fibrosis Canada website, and we will add this link into the chat, in the chat section here, but it is cysticfibrosis.ca, and it's a whole section on infection prevention and control to give you tips and things like that if you do need them. I also want to review a little bit too about the roles of the volunteer and CF Canada staff when it comes to the walk. So the Walk to Make Cystic Fibrosis Canada is happening literally in 70+ locations across Canada, which is fantastic. Each walk will actually differ in size, the participant numbers, whether they are having food, entertainment, which means that each walk will actually have its own personality, if you want to look at it like that. Our focus is on the fundraising and getting the people to actually attend the walks. So as the walk committee, we're asking that you plan and execute your event to the best of your ability recruit committee members and day of volunteers to help you to secure sponsorship, get the permits required, share and promote the walk across your community. And that could include things like city calendars, press releases, social media, and radio station announcements. The CF staff will concentrate on providing you with the training, the tools, and the resources you need for your walk, and communicate effectively and in a timely manner with you as coordinators and your committee, and to support you through the journey right from right now, and obviously prior to this, up until post-event time. Over to you, Janet.
Thank you, Christy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about SharePoint, and SharePoint is where volunteers can go to access documents online. It has many different, it has posters and all the different documents that you would need for the walk. But to access SharePoint, volunteers must return the signed volunteer document, and then we will provide you with the access. So just let us know if you need a copy, and we can email it to you for you to fill out, and then you send it back to us, and then we'll give you access to SharePoint. And again, such documents as, press releases, social media assets, training documents, and more is always added as the weeks go by. One of the logistics is we want to make sure that all the parks are booked and permits are being issued. If you haven't booked your park by now, you probably want to get on that because the time is getting close. And especially now that things are opening up, a lot of people are starting to book up spaces in parks because everybody's going back to in-person events. So let your regional contact know if you need updates or changes to your event, your start location, where to meet, so we can update your event page. If you're in charge of your social media, that info should be updated there too. So volunteers for day of. Volunteers are needed to help at each walk site. Roles, they could very much differ for each walk depending on what you're hosting, but such things as setup, check-in, route marshals, handing out food if you're having them, cleaning up. And so of course activities will vary depending on the walk location. I know here in Alberta, our two walk sites, Calgary and Edmonton, we are planning on having a barbecue. So of course we're going to need volunteers for that. And then we also plan on having children's activities. So I know those are two of the big things. And of course, we also bring out volunteers for for the routes and for parking. Parking is a big issue for us because there's only limited amounts. Setup can be a big thing. And then of course, takedown. So it's kind of nice to have some volunteers in place because when that walk's over, I know a lot of people are ready to hit the road. And sometimes if there's only 3 people left, it can be a big task. So you kind of want to ask these volunteers ahead of time, if they can help you with the takedown. I'm not sure Prairies, if you guys are, what your activities are involving. Janice, I don't know if you.
Oh, sorry, I was just at a days. Yeah, so ours, we'll have different activities. We have people coming out and doing activities. And then some are having barbecue. Regina's having a barbecue. Others are having a bagged lunch, and they're having things that are out that people can just get along the way. So yeah, there's a variety of different things that they're doing there, different activities. Like games and things like that we'll have volunteers that will be manning those at the actual events as well. So yeah, just a variety of different things that we definitely need volunteers to be assisting us with.
Yeah. And Sandra, if you want to just mention a few things at your bigger walk.
Yeah, we're doing handing out donated water bottles of water, apples and bananas, and fruit bars from Sunripe. And another walk is having a band, and another walk is having the superheroes. That's being confirmed, but there's a local volunteer superhero group that's going to hopefully attend. So, and then some are just doing very basic walks. People come, they walk, they say hi to the people they haven't seen for a long time, and then head off and do their own thing. So different things depending on size of committees, size of walks. Yeah, so we're excited.
Yeah, thank you. So next we're going to switch over to social media and marketing. So of course, Cystic Fibrosis Canada we always have a certain amount of posts that we just automatically put out. So you're welcome to share those for sure. But if you have your own, if you want to add events to your social media pages and Facebook pages that you manage, please, go ahead and just share, because to get the word out that this walk is happening in person is definitely a big goal of ours. Again, you can use social media images. SharePoint would have social media images for you that you can even use on your personal pages. And there's community calendar sites such as Global or your city website. Sponsorship and gifts in kinds are a great way to reduce costs. Now, we really do depend on a lot of sponsorships and donations to help us with that. I know here in Alberta and BC, I'm not 100% sure about the prairies, but Save On Foods is a great location, and they've been very generous with us. Okay, Janice is nodding her head. Like we've gone to them and we've asked them to, for donations or gift cards to help us purchase foods for, let's say, for our barbecues or even, your snack lunches. So it really helps reduce the costs. Granola bars. We've had some really, again, great success with them in the past. And you know what? And I'm saying Save On Foods, but honestly, a lot of I know there's Loblaws and sometimes Safeway and Sobeys. It just, especially if you have a relationship and if you go to a regular grocery store, honestly, and if they kind of know you, you probably have a better chance of getting a donation than maybe if you don't know them. But or somebody in your committee maybe has a good relationship, and that would be the person I would ask if they could go and do an ask on behalf of your committee. And if you're holding a silent auction or raffle at your walk, just ask, you ask local businesses for gift certificates or goods and consider packaging them maybe and make them a bit larger, more appealing for people to bid on. One word of caution, if you are doing a raffle, I know a lot of the provinces you need a license, like a gaming license. So you want to check with your staff member and they can pull that license for you if you plan on doing a raffle, or just double check with them if you do need one. So I would just check with that. Again, and that's really nice sometimes maybe for top fundraisers and teams, if sometimes people give those away too. And of course, donations, that's, the walk is all about, getting donations. We are encouraging people to donate online. Of course, this is very much an online walkathon now. It used to be where everybody would show up day of and have cash and checks. I really noticed, especially here in Alberta, we've gone down to probably 15% cash and checks and 85% is online now. So we've really shifted into that, which is actually really good. It helps us. We don't have to deal with so much cash and checks day of the walk. So, and of course, the minute you do an online donation, you get a tax receipt, or your donor gets a tax receipt, which is really nice. And the money is in the bank. So it works well. And then it says, if people give you cash and checks, right, please encourage them so if you do get people who will say, I have cash and check, of course, we're always going to say yes to that. Just encourage them to log on and put it on as an offline donation and ensure that they include all the details so that they get a tax receipt. So they won't get a tax receipt right away because we have to verify that we have the cash and check. So after the fact, after the walk, they will get a tax receipt. But we do require their full mailing address and name in order to issue that tax receipt. And of course, the instructions and other how-to videos are on the website, and we will add the link to the chat now. So in the chat, actually, Janice is.
Oh, Janice didn't. Sandra added mine.
Oh, someone said.
She stole my thunder.
Oh, you stole. Okay.
I'm just
Thank
kidding.
you.
Okay.
Whoever added that link, thank you. But it's yes. So once again, for your offline donations, please, you can add it that way. Again, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about food because I know some people are doing barbecue, some people are just doing snacks. As mentioned, so depending on your province, please call your local health authority and ask what is allowable before getting a permit. Because, so example, in Vancouver, they're just handing out bottled water and apples, and they're not cutting up the fruit. So no permit is required because it's almost like here, they almost call it like prepackaged food. It's not something that you're cooking. However, in Calgary and Edmonton, where we are doing hot dogs and hamburgers, and we're preparing food, we do need to go through Alberta Health Services and fill out a form and get an approval from them to say that, yes, we are allowed to have this barbecue, because of course it all has to be approved by your health services in your different provinces. So you just want to make sure that you check that out before. Don't assume that you can have a barbecue without that, because I would just check with your local authorities and see if you do indeed need one. And I think that's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette. So I'm going to chat about entertainment and gaming. And as we were talking about some of the things that we're doing, one of the things that a lot of different walks like to have is a guest speaker. So we definitely encourage you to book your guest speakers in advance, and then also update your social media sites if you are managing them, or let us know as staff if we are, just so that we can make sure that people are knowing who's coming out. Any of the details that you have for the walk, the sooner that we have those, the sooner we're able to update, and then we're able to really get people excited about the different things that are happening there. If you're holding the 50/50 or raffle, as Jeanette said, we will need up to 2 weeks notice for the permits to get the applications for those. And then again, to be able to advertise that those are going to be there. It's always great for people to know what's happening. There are free online platforms such as CrowdChange, which is the platform that we have the walk through, that we can look into touch-free silent auction items, as well as if you're wanting to do a silent auction that way, or a 50/50 draw or raffles. We can do those online. They don't cost anything as opposed to other sites. But you do not need a permit. If you're doing a silent auction, you don't need a permit for that. So that's a nice thing for silent auctions. Kin Clubs. So Kin Canada is our national partner, if you weren't aware, and they've been a partner of ours for so many years and been involved in the walks in so many different ways. And so we encourage you to ask your Kin Club to help out with planning and day of event volunteering. Some will donate, either prizes or food or that sort of thing. So we encourage you to, have conversations with your local Kin Clubs. They like to come out and set up, or like I said, hand out food items. But we also, as staff, CF Canada, we've been in contact. We're working with the Kin as well. We have a Kin Champion program where we're trying to get Kin excited in each of the districts, in each of the areas, to get excited about the walk and raise money. And so maybe if you are going to also have those conversations with your Kin Clubs, to reach out to your local staff support that you're working with, and just kind of see if conversations have happened, or just have that little bit of connection. But we definitely encourage you to be reaching out. It's always great to know who's a great partner of ours in the community. And insurance. So we do have our insurance. Most of the walks will need. We have insurance that covers everything. Some walks will need extra insurance. Well, they'll want to be added to they'll want their location to be added to our insurance, or get that extra insurance. So we renew our insurance for the year at the end of March, and so in early April, we will start getting that set up. People that require it, we will be in contact with, and then that includes locations booked in cities and parks. So if you're wondering about insurance, you can talk with us, and we will be able to see what you're needing, and making sure that we're able to get that, because we will have to go through CF Canada to make sure that that's all in place for your location. So that's all I have. This is kind of the time we're going to open it up and have questions, and things that maybe stuff we talked about during this that you like you said, you want to come back and circle back and be like, hey, and have some discussion on that, or questions that you've been wanting to ask, that since we put out the invite, that you wanted to ask us about, that we could have a roundtable discussion. So the floor is anybody who would like to start.
Can I ask a question? If you're not doing a barbecue, what are people's ideas around? I know, Sandra, you guys are doing, what was it, bananas and apples and bottled water and the Sunright bars. Other than like granola bars or like little bags of chips, I know some people have an issue with water bottles just because of the environmental, but we don't want to do juice. But like, I was just wondering if other regions have any ideas if you're not doing a barbecue, just to have something to hand out.
Kim, are there any manufacturers up your way, like food producers that you could ask to donate some goods. Or I know the Walmart up there is a really big supporter. I'm just wondering if you contact them, if they might, you could do a walkthrough and see what might appeal, and then ask them if they could donate some food products to you for your walk.
Yeah, they have done it in the past. We've also got a Save On, so that's good to know that Save On has been a good supporter.
Mm-hmm. Save-On has changed their, just so everybody knows, Save-On has changed their process this year, and they're needing at least minimum 1 month notice, because they used to just either give you gift cards or give you, like, they've handed me an empty shopping cart and said, fill it to the brim, and I filled 2. So they've done that before, but they've changed that, unfortunately. So now you've got to contact them at least. So contact them now and have that conversation. And like Jeanette was saying, we've got the documents for sponsorship and gifting kind and donation requests and things. So if you let us, fill out the volunteer form, so that we can give you access to that SharePoint where all of those documents are. But that would be, I would contact Save On Foods, Walmart, any manufacturers that are out your way. I can't think of who's up your way, but like chips and drinks. That we do individual water bottles as part of our control, but there's water bubblers around. Depends on where your location is too. Might be worth scoping out Sportsplex where yours is going to be, and seeing they may have a cafeteria there that might be open if people are wanting to get their own stuff as well. It's something to keep in mind.
It might be great for you to, so I use, and I have for years, the Save On Foods is in Saskatchewan and Manitoba as well. For all of my Saskatoon CF events, all the Save On Foods sponsor a different each event and such. And so, and then we do it for Regina. And so it might be worthy, if you are going to Save On Foods and having a conversation with them, to let them know, that they are sponsoring in multiple locations in your local province, but as well as other provinces as well. I think sometimes when they know others are doing it, it really puts that push behind getting on board with them. We are having, like I said, a barbecue in Regina, but in Saskatoon and Winnipeg, they are potentially handing out sandwiches. The pre-made Save On Foods is going to make sandwiches, and they're going to be pre-made sandwiches that are wrapped, that will be given out with a piece of fruit and a drink, and a granola bar or something like that as well. So,
can I ask? I guess we would just need to talk to our local health authority about like a local bakery providing cookies or something like that. That would just be up to the individual or the local health authority. Is that right?
Yeah. So we looked into that as well. And I don't know about your health authority, but if they're individually wrapped, then you would probably be fine. But if it's from Cobbs and they just give you a couple of boxes, you'll likely need a food permit for that. But yeah, contact your health authority and ask them. And sometimes they take a bit of time for the permit to be processed, and you might need to do some extra stuff like purchasing gloves and just making sure those extra safe health and safety pieces are put into place.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? I think we covered just about everything, but we really welcome your feedback. If you've got any thoughts, ideas, Kim, I'd love to hear what you come up with for your walk. If you do go ahead with the cookies and if Walmart or Save On Foods comes forward for you, we'd love to hear about successes like that. Same with everybody. Yeah, get in touch with us, and please do let us, send us, just thinking about SharePoint, that is really where all the resources are. So make sure you email us and let us know if you can't find the email that we sent to give you permission to access it. It is a long document, but when you sign it and return it to us, then we've got it on file and we can send that to you. I just see someone's joining us now.
Can I just clarify that form that needs to be signed? Is that an annual thing, or because I know I've signed something a long time ago, but I'm not sure if that's the same one.
Yeah, so there used to be quite a few. Hi, Jean. Thanks for joining us. There used to be quite a few forms, and that you would have to individually sign. They've all been combined into one document now. That's only been done in the last couple of weeks. So we're kind of starting from fresh, and that will be an annual thing to make sure that everyone is aware of our policies, and just in case there's any changes, down the track as we go. Christy, have you got anything to add to that? No.
No, you covered it off really well.
Yeah, it used to be a really pages, and so now they've combined all of the because it was getting very cumbersome with all the different. I think there was pages and pages of people signing different. So they've combined it all. It's like, isn't it like 42 pages? But don't let that overwhelm you. It is only one signature, I believe at the end and stuff. So, but we do need that in order to, and then you have access to the SharePoint and all the documents that are available.
Is this something we need to request, or are we going to get it sent automatically?
If you want it, if you ask me, I can send you that form. Yes, for you to sign. Yes.
Could you send me the form, please?
I shall send you the form.
Maybe what I'll do, we're planning on sending out the notes. So at the top of the notes, I'll add everyone's email, the regional contacts email addresses, and you can contact Janice, Jeanette, Christy, or me and ask for the form if you didn't see the email, which is entirely possible. And Casey, I see you've got your hand up.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can, yes.
Sorry. I'm going back to the guest speaker part where it was wanting to know like your details as soon as possible. Before we used to be sent out like a web form to fill in information about like when your walk starts, how long it is, the location. Is there something going out to update that, or are we sending that up to get updated?
We haven't had a formal document given to us to send out to you. We've just been updating on our end. We update, there's a form that we all update when we have details that come in for the walks, but there hasn't been for a few years that document that used to go out years ago to get all those details in. So that I don't think we've had anything. Am I missing something, ladies?
No,
No.
I would say if you go on to walk.cysticfibrosis.ca and look up your location, with that website, it goes to the register page, and in the kind of top left corner, you need to hit that back button. So it'll say Campbell River Walk, and you hit that button, and that'll go to the details of where and what and how. So if you've got, for example, if Kim had, sorry, Kim, you're in my view. That's why I keep choosing you. If Kim had AC/DC coming to do a concert, she would let me know, and I would update our the web page for her. So if you look at your location, Casey, and then let Janice know if you've got any updates, and then we'll do it for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Jean, go ahead.
Okay, so we as walk coordinators we can't update ourselves. It has to go through staff. Is that what I'm guessing?
Yeah, it has to. We're using a new platform called CrowdChange, so I think it'll make it easier all around. For if you just send us your updates and we'll do it for you, and that's a good way of letting us know so that we're more informed about what's going on as well.
Okay.
Casey, have you still got your hand up, or is that from before? No. Okay, great. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you very, very much. As I said when we started, we really appreciate your time. If you think of anything, get in touch with any of us. We'll be sending out the notes. If you, like I said before, we'd love your feedback, and we really, truly appreciate your taking on the walk this year. And we're excited that we're along with for the journey, as Christy said. So thank you all very much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on, everyone. I hope you have a great evening.
Sorry, I was late.
Yeah, you missed it. We'll send the notes.
Sorry.
That's
All
okay.
good. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay,
Good night,
bye-bye.
everyone.
You too. Thank you.